Welcome to this year's runner-up of the best camera framing of 2024. So, if you're here and you saw the last video, which I think 4 of you did, where I was like, hey, I'm working on a video, it's gonna take like, it's gonna be like an hour or more long, and you're looking at the runtime, you're like, hey Trent, this isn't the, that's not that. Correct, you're right. You're in another, filler arc, as we want to call it. Let me give you a little bit of the rundown, and then we'll get into the main thing. So, real quick. I was recording gameplay footage of a game, it got really close to the end, and then my handy-dandy, trusty, rusty external hard drive that I've been using for like 4 years just decided to die. And that had all the gameplay footage. And all of the music, sound effects, and other editing shortcuts that I have been using over the past like 4 years on it. And they're all gone now. They're all dead. They're gone. It's a tragedy. And you can see I'm using the coveted microphone with a sock for a pop filter again. This time I've kept this clip on, so I know where the front of the microphone is, as long as my fingers are resting here, so you won't end up with me going like this and talking into the side of it again and nothing fucking coming through. Instead, it should be fine. One, the microphone stand for this just broke, hence this. I could get a new one and replace it. However, that's why I made that other video, because I wanted a lavalier microphone, because I could give into the ADHD demons all day, baby, and then just walk around and do whatever, and it'd be fine. However, I had to put funds towards getting a new external hard drive for editing so that I can take it to one computer to another. We have a computer in the living room for gameplay recording, kind of a old hunky-dunky whatever. I built it in like 2016 to run Doom 2016 and nothing else. So I use that to record footage, and then I take that footage, put it on my main computer to edit and whatnot. It's besides the point. I lost all the footage, process of re-recording it, process of rewriting everything so that everything lines up again, because I might run into glitches or stuff that I had jokes ready to do, and they just won't happen again. So, here we are. I would like to kind of do a part 2 of the media preservation video rambling I did like a year ago, because since that video has come out, some things have changed, some things have not. For the things that have not changed, I won't be touching on those. You can just go see the other, you can just see the original video for that stuff. But for the stuff that has changed, allow me to get into it. God damn it. The iPod fell on the floor. All right, here I've got a cohesive list of some things. I'm hoping this is like a 20-minute video. We'll see. First things I would like to touch on is some things that have changed for the better. Is last time I made the video, Dragon Ball Z Kai was not legally available to watch anywhere. Since then, Funimation has gone defunct, bought by Crunchyroll, which we'll get into a little later. But Funimation streaming service itself is no longer available. You just have to get Crunchyroll, and because of that, Dragon Ball Z Kai is now legal to watch on Hulu in the United States. Don't know how that happened. I have no idea how the hell that ended up happening. You'd think Crunchyroll buying Funimation would then put Dragon Ball Z Kai on Funimation or Crunchyroll, but no, it's on Hulu, which is fine because Hulu is a better streaming service anyway. But I talked about how there's no Freddy Got Fingered Blu-ray anywhere, and at the time I didn't think you could legally watch that anywhere. I guess it was on Apple TV Plus for like $3.99. What I get for Apple TV Plus? I believe I did some digging. That's also on Hulu now. Because I think Disney owns that. I think Disney... Wait. Yeah, I think that was a Fox... I think that was a 20th Century Fox movie. I think Disney owns Freddy Got Fingered. Oh. That actually just hit me now. That's fucking insane. And the last thing to update on for that video... that I could think of at least, or that was important to me. There may have been a couple more recent developments that I don't know about, and one guy, and this is just a quick whatever. Happiness, the movie I talked about that's like kind of, it's disturbing, a little bit of an uncomfortable, not a little bit, quite an uncomfortable watch, but a very good movie, is now on, it has a 4K Blu-ray and just DVD release, thanks to Criterion Collection, who also has the distribution rights to Freddy Got Fingered. We're gonna get the Freddy Got Fingered Blu-ray. Mark my fucking words, it's gonna happen, and I will be there day one. But that, for weirdos like me, that's very good. Because apart from some exceptions, in my head, I feel like every movie should have the right to be available. You know, no matter how bad, good, controversial, or disturbing, it should be available, because that's, no matter what it is, it's art in one way or the other, and the fact that we're just kind of burying art like that, it's a bit upsetting to me. And I mean, like, almost anything. Like, I'd qualify Green Elephant, those who know, they know. That should have something. The guinea pig movies from Japan should have something. Those have on an authorized Blu-ray collection things on eBay, which is cool that, like, fans, you know, where companies won't step in, fans will. I do like that. I just think it's unfair. I just don't think it should be that way. I think it should just be available. And I know physical media is getting harder and harder to justify in this day and age. However, more and more signs keep pointing to it just being the better option with, like, the PlayStation, what did they lose? Discovery? I think they lost, like, if you purchased anything owned by Discovery, you just lost all those digital purchases. Any digital purchases made on Funimation before being absorbed into Crunchyroll, those are just gone. You can't get those back. So you don't own anything with digital, and at least with a hard disc, I have that. That's mine. Disc rot and Blu-ray disc rot, that's a whole separate conversation, and that is also a problem. But for this, you know, it's fine. So that's going to be all the positive changes. Now, who's ready to hear me bitch? So back when I made that video, I can't remember the timeline. I think Warner Brothers was absorbed with Discovery, or vice versa. However that company merger worked, I don't know. I don't care. All that matters is a bunch of stuff was written off as taxes, or written off for taxes, and we'll never see that. The big one that most people point at is the Batgirl movie. I didn't have any stake in that, I don't care, but I know people did care, and I know that movie was, like, finished. Like, maybe just needed some more post-production work, but then other than that, it was finished, and it's just sitting in a vault somewhere, which isn't fair at all. But it was Coyote versus Acme, or Acme versus Wile E. Coyote, or something like that. We've also lost that entirely. That's just gone. That will never see the light of day. Which sucks, because I like the Looney Tunes, and I want to see more things with the Looney Tunes that aren't Space Jam 2. That's... Whew. There's a bunch of things that we've lost, but the series Infinity Train, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I have not started watching it. It seems very interesting. However, I can't watch it if I wanted to legally anymore, because it's just gone. Movies in production that were set to release were not the only victims of the tax write-off. Stuff that was already on HBO Max at the time were victims as well. I think Uncle Grandpa is gone. Infinity Train is definitely gone. There's a bunch of other stuff that I can't think of at the moment, but there's just so much stuff that was on HBO Max that is just gone, and also taken off of, like, the iTunes store or the Amazon Prime store for, like, digital purchases. They're just gone. And the only way you can get them is out-of-print DVD releases, if they were lucky enough to get DVD and Blu-ray releases. So, fun. Just to continue piggybacking... continue piggybacking on last video's main topic that then turned into just dribble. Dragon Ball Z is still not available to watch anywhere in its proper resolution and remastered correctly with the film grain still there, not digitally removed so everything looks smeary and gross. It's still not legally available to watch anywhere. We still haven't done anything. In fact, every Dragon Ball home release has been butchered. Did you know this Broly movie, Dragon Ball Super Broly, that came out like 5, 6, 7, 15,000 years ago? It's mastered wrong for the Blu-ray. Everything has a green tint. It didn't have that in the theatrical release. Everything is tinted green. You look at the snow, it's green. I don't know what happened. Like, how does this keep happening with Dragon Ball? But yeah, that's an issue. I think Dragon Ball Super Heroes 4K release is fine. Maybe. I don't know. Here's the thing. My TV might not be have the proper settings, but I have a TV that does HDR, and when it works, it looks really nice. When it doesn't, it's Dragon Ball Super Heroes. About it, I don't know what it was, but that whole movie was so dark. It was so hard to see anything until somebody would do like a Kamehameha or a solar flare or a Big Bang attack, and then the screen would be 7,000 nits. It would be so bright. I don't even know if that's bright. I don't know if that's the proper measurement. I don't know, but it was so bright. And then it would just go back to being just kind of like, it was almost like you were watching a movie and somebody put like a very thin layer of black film on everything to just make everything dark. And then when an action scene would happen, they'd rip the film off real quick and then put it back over. That's how it was. And I do not know if that's how the 4K Blu-ray is supposed to be, and that's just wrong, or if that's how the movie's supposed to be, or if my TV settings aren't correct. Not sure on that. Jury's still out on that one. So that's why I'm not bringing that up as a main complaint, because that could be on me. I'm not sure. But as far as I know, every Dragon Ball home release has had issues, and continues to have issues, and I don't know why. In the same vein with Toei Animation, it was recently discovered, maybe a couple months ago, that Sailor Moon has been mastered wrong for, decades. That, pink hue that Sailor Moon has isn't supposed to be there. That's just film degradation that they've tried to hide. You can watch it, I'm pretty sure illegally, with the proper resolution. Fans have done their best to, do what they can to properly remaster it and restore it. Sailor Moon kind of looks better with the pink. That's one of the one things where it's Sailor Moon's kind of missing that vibe without the pink glow. It's kind of missing something. That's one of the ones that's okay. I still would like to have both versions available, but with the pink, it's okay. It's very distinctly Sailor Moon with the pink glow. I would just like to complain about streaming services for a hot minute, if I may. This is less to do about media preservation and more to do about the ease of media consumption. Streaming services have turned into a hot fucking mess, haven't they? I want to say the genesis point was The Office leaving Netflix and going to Peacock. Now, I don't really give a shit about The Office, but Peacock is a streaming service for NBC, and their main selling point for Peacock at the time was, hey, we have The Office, and we have The Office exclusively. The show that ended a decade ago. That doesn't seem... I know some people probably bought Peacock because of The Office, but that doesn't seem like a selling point to me. That's weird. Now I'd almost say Peacock is in the top 35, being number 35. Because it at least has interesting things. It has that TED show that's pretty good. The fucking Child's Play TV show apparently is balls to the walls nuts, and that's great. On Thanksgiving Day, I watched Five Nights at Freddy's there because it just released digital out of theaters, and I was like, I ain't doing anything on Thanksgiving. Time to be thankful for Freddy Fazbear. It's okay, but Peacock's not the main point of contention I want to use, because the streaming service I use almost every other day or so is Paramount Plus. What a useless fucking streaming service. Dude, I've never seen a more unoptimized streaming service. Every time I go on the app, it works okay on the phone. It's like all of these services are optimized for phones, and then everything else is and that's weird. It's like, why? Because on my phone it works okay. Works all right. I'll be watching something, sometimes it'll buffer. No other streaming service does that. That's weird, but it buffers for a second, and then it's fine. But if you're trying to just scroll through the options of Paramount Plus on the PlayStation 5, for example, which is what I primarily use it on. PlayStation 5 hooked into a receiver for 5.1 surround sound audio. What's up? It's the slowest, most irritating thing to use. You can't... If I just want to scroll from the headliner thing up here down to what I'm watching, it takes a fucking 3 weeks before it makes that move, and it's... Why? Why does it have to do that? I don't understand. And then the content on Paramount Plus? You better fucking love NCIS and Law & Order, because there isn't shit on there. It's got the Sonic movies, and it's got everything Star Trek. If those are not what interest you, stay the away from it. Unless you're really into NCIS. I got Paramount Plus because I started watching Star Trek The Next Generation, which I'll probably talk about later in my favorite things video, because holy fuck. But I started watching Star Trek The Next Generation, and I will fully admit, I was pirating it first. Pirating it. That's a slew. I was pirating Star Trek The Next Generation at first because it wasn't available on anything, even though I very clearly remember 10 years ago maybe, I started watching the original Star Trek on Netflix, and if they had original Star Trek, I would bet my entire asshole that it had The Next Generation on there. But I was pirating it because I just didn't want to use Paramount Plus. I didn't see a reason for it. It literally had nothing on it that interested me, because at least with a streaming service, if there's one thing on it I want to watch, then I'll do more research to see what's on there. I'm still not paying for Max, but Max has things on it that I like. I just don't trust the company anymore. I don't trust it. I don't trust that I'm not going to sign up for the streaming service, and the next day the thing I'm watching is just gone. And that's the world we live in with streaming services, and it's infuriating. But I was pirating it, but I have this terrible luck with pirating sites where it'll run really smooth for one episode, and then the next episode, it's just buffering every 2 minutes, and it just won't stop. I have to reload the page and then skip to where I was, and then just hope to God it doesn't start again. So I got annoyed with it, and I said, fuck it. For the convenience of it just being here, I'm going to get Paramount Plus. And I did. And like a dumbass, I purchased the most expensive package for like $11.99 at the time. I think it's $12.99 now, which is... But, because it came with Showtime. And I was like, surely there'll be something on Showtime I want to watch. Oh, maybe. No! There's fucking nothing there! Paramount Plus and Showtime are useless. The only thing that's on there is Star Trek The Next Generation. You know what I'm going to do as soon as I finish Next Gen? I'm out! I'm canceling the service. Right now, it's convenient for the thing that I want to watch, but then I'm out. And you know what's really funny is for how long is it's taking me, because I'm watching it at my leisure. I'm not binging it. I'm not doing whatever. I'm just watching it. For as long as it's going to take me to finish The Next Generation, if I probably were to calculate the amount of money I've spent monthly on Paramount Plus, it would have probably been cheaper to buy the box set at Walmart for $100. So anyway, that's my rant about streaming services. Did that really have a point? No, I just wanted to bitch and moan, and that's what this video is for. Back onto what's not available physically. You guys know the really influential and like famous and important zombie movie 28 Days Later? You know about that? Low budget flick shot in England on a digital camera, and you can tell it was on a digital camera because holy shit, you can count the pixels on that screen sometimes. Yeah, that's not available to watch anywhere, legally. That's just not on anything. You can watch 28 Weeks Later, I think. That's on something, I'm sure. But 28 Days Later is just nowhere to be found. Well, that's okay, I'll just go find a Blu-ray, good luck. I'll find a DVD, good luck. They are all out of print. They've been out of print for about a decade now. If you want to get it physically, I'm sure you can, but I'm sure you're going to be paying top dollar and or more than top dollar from a reseller on eBay to own it. Can't wait for 28 years later. Can't watch the first one, but I can sure as fuck watch the new one. Can't wait. All right, we're going to move into some anime shit. We're almost done. Would you believe it? There's no actual way to round out this video. I feel like it's just going to stop. In regards to things that are just not available to watch legally, my wife and I watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I remembered it being better than it was. And my wife didn't really like it that much either. And that sounds sacrilege, but hear me out. 10 years ago when I watched the original Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I watched the original Full Metal Alchemist first on Netflix. And I watched it the whole way through because I didn't know that it deviated from the story. And then I watched Brotherhood. I watched the first episode of Brotherhood, thinking it was a continuation of the original. It was not. I was upset. Then I gave it about a month, watched Brotherhood. I had all the prior knowledge of the original Full Metal Alchemist for Brotherhood. I had all of the context needed for Brotherhood, and which made me fucking adore it. Then when we watched it now, Brotherhood feels rushed in the first 20 episodes or so. Once you hit about the halfway point, like a quarter point, it starts to slow down a bit. But you're missing a lot of context and character development for Ed and Al and Winry and Roy and Hawkeye, everybody. You're missing a lot of character stuff. And I kept having weird moments where I was like, I don't remember it being this quick. I don't remember it feeling like this. I remember there being more to like the events after Ed and Al try to resurrect their mom. I remember there being more character stuff with Ed, and that's just not in Brotherhood. And then it dawned on me that like, oh, that was from the original show. And then I figured out that some people prefer to watch part of the original show, stop, then go to Brotherhood. And that's how, like, you get the proper flow. And I'm like, oh! Well, let's just do that. Let me tell you a little secret here. The original Full Metal Alchemist is not available to watch anywhere legally. You just can't. It's not anywhere. This, like, beloved anime. Yes, sure, the second half is all filler. But it's still, like, a beloved anime, and it's just, you can't find it. It's just not available anywhere legally. And that doesn't make any sense to me because it was on Netflix. I know it was because I watched it there. I know Netflix didn't have all of Brotherhood finished because I bought the last season of Brotherhood so I could finish it, and I still have that DVD of just the last half of Brotherhood. I don't have the first half, just the last. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I do not understand it. Another anime thing, too, is I watched Higurashi this year. Higurashi When They Cry. Anime based on a visual novel that's like a horror whatever thing. I thought it was okay. However, what I did was I watched the original series and then I went to Gatsu and Satsu, I think they're called. Basically like kind of sort of remakes of the show from like 2 years ago. And you might be wondering if you're in the know, which 4 of you are. Hey Trent, how'd you watch Higurashi 2006? Because that's just not available in anything. You are correct. You are right. It is not available anywhere. I had to pirate it. Again. It's just... I thought streaming services were supposed to make things easy. But yeah, I had to pirate the original Higurashi. And then I went to Gatsu and Satsu, or whatever they're called. I forget. It's been a bit. It's just frustrating, because I know there are people out there who genuinely really, really, really love Higurashi, and they just can't watch it legally anymore. Or if they ever could, I don't even know. And that doesn't even begin to touch on the topic of fucking video games that are stuck on consoles. Oh my god! I kind of went over this in the last video. With Dragon Power being a Dragon Ball RPG that got localized here and was weird and whatever, I would love... It's not a great game, it's not that good, but I would really like if it got a port or a release on Nintendo eShop, or Nintendo Switch Online or whatever, and it was the proper ROM of the Dragon Ball game that was retranslated to be a Dragon Ball game, since, you know, they're not trying to hide what anime is here anymore. But we'll never get that. And I touched on a couple things. Golgo 13, I think I might have mentioned. If I didn't, Golgo 13 on the NES. Who? I want to touch on the 7th generation of consoles, I believe is, if I'm counting, I don't know. But like the Wii, the Xbox 360, and the PS3, there's so many, I don't want to say good games, but games that are stuck on those consoles. Bullet Witch is just stuck forever there. I Am Alive, a weird post-apocalyptic Ubisoft thing, is just stuck on the digital store on the PS3 only now because, hey, guess what? The Xbox 360 store shut down. Most of those games... I'm gonna say I don't wanna say most. I'm gonna say a lot of those games aren't available to play. A lot of other ones did get moved over to the Xbox One, so they're still there at least, but some didn't. I can almost guarantee you Bullet Witch did not. So before the store closed, I bought Bullet Witch. Just stuff like that. Tokyo Jungle has never been ported. That's just stuck to the PS3 store, which thankfully is still online for who knows how long, but it's still there. I don't know. Again, this kind of ties back into movies. Like, for me, a bad movie, a good movie, a controversial movie, a great movie, an award-winning movie are still some form of art, and they should be allowed to be viewed, whether as a form of art or as a form of artistic failure, like something like the Emoji Movie or something. Like, just they as examples of just like this upcoming Minecraft movie looks like going to be an abject artistic failure that will be taught for years to come. We'll see, though. He ruined Tenacious D to stay in the Minecraft movie. But yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff on those consoles that'll just be stuck there for the foreseeable future. I don't want to say forever, because you never know, something might just get shadow dropped and it's like, whoa, I didn't know this was here. Because they never can say anything. Square Enix does this. Real quick, side tangent. Square Enix, this isn't even part of the script, I'm just going off now. Square Enix, you know, the RPG company, Dragon Quest, Fire Emblem, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, you know those guys. They release like 20 to 30 games a year. Did you know that? Yeah, they keep releasing like little mid-budget things. Like last year they had like a full motion video game where it was like you're watching a detective and you have to make choices, and it's all acted with real people, and it's just like a movie that you can interact with. Did you know that happened? Because I didn't. They don't advertise their shit, and then they get mad they don't make money. So yeah, companies will just shadow drop things and then be mad that it doesn't make money and to take it away. It's great. That just happened with Concord, which Concord didn't look good, but still those people worked for 8 years on it and it survived 2 weeks and then died. So Astrobot could run. But on the topic of games, the last thing I'll mention for this video is one of my personal favorite bad video games that I adore so fucking much is 2010's Splatterhouse remake. That is forever stuck on the PS3 and Xbox 360. This will never get ported. We will never see a port of this. We will never see a remake of this. Almost definitely. We have seen a port of the original arcade game on a Namco museum for the Switch. Not a Splatterhouse 2 and 3 for the Sega Genesis, though. Those just don't exist. Shut the fuck up. I will be talking more about this game next month. Yeah, I'm spoiling it. I tried to keep it a surprise, but 4 people are gonna give a shit about the Splatterhouse 2010 remake. That's what the next video is on. And hey, it's coming out for Spooky Month, so the hard drive dying sucked, but it kind of worked out, because that's what this video would have been, and then there would have not been like a Halloween-themed video. Luckily, hard drive died, so Splatterhouse could survive to this Halloween. But it's the 14th anniversary of that game, which seems odd to do it for the 14th anniversary. Believe me, I didn't plan that, could you tell? But, yeah, that's what the next video is going to be on. So, there's a lot to cover, a lot of history with it, and I want to talk about why it's one of my favorite bad video games, but that'll be forever stuck on the Xbox 360 and PS3. And with that, I'm going to end this ramble. Because again, once again, like the last one, I had a layout, I had talking points, and then I put this down, and then everything went to shit. I talked about Square Enix. So, thanks for watching. This will be a shorter video, thank God. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, rate, follow me on Facebook, MySpace for my beats, follow my LinkedIn and hire me. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Bye, I guess. I was gonna do a bit here where I was like, we're so close to 1 million subscribers, but it just didn't seem right. But hey, we're so close to 500 subscribers, so if you wanna throw down and do. I don't know what's going on. I'm ending the recording. Bye.